listened to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna about his conversation and the God and this Panchama Veda. This we will study after chanting this. Tavu kathamritam tapta jivanam kavi virilitam kalmashapaham Sravana Mangalam Srimadatatam Bhuvi Grinanti E Bhuridajanaha. Now, one Vaishnava devotee, he was giving his opinion. In our last class, we have listened. That devotee, he was giving his opinion and how one can realize God. Sri Ramakrishna asked him, what is the way? And then he gave the opinion and he said, by chanting the name, sir, the chanting of God's name is enough. Chanting the name of God. He said, sir, the chanting of God's name is enough. Immediately, this is the speciality, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna rectifying him. He said, I say, chant the name of God and with it pray to Him. And pray to Him that you may have love for Him. Pray to God that your attachment to transitory things become less and less. This is the most important thing. Unless and until we are praying to God, taking the name of God, but why? That we do not know. Sometimes only to get some relief from some of the problems. Is that the purpose? So this is very important. And Sri Ramakrishna, if we notice, constantly, every time, he is trying to take our mind to that higher stand, higher level, to realize God. And that's why he declared God realization is the goal of every human being. Not less than that. All other things, whatever we are doing, it's okay. So that's why he said the chanting the name of God is okay, but only repeating the name of God without having the faith won't help. So that's why he is telling prayer. How can I pray if I have the faith? What is that faith? That God is there. The existence of God, that is the most important. Millions and millions of devotees are there. If you go and individually ask them, so they don't actually believe that God is there. Why? It's not possible to conceive that idea. Is it really true? Can this be true? So that way, how the conviction that God is there, this is very, very important. And that's why he is immediately attaching these words, addressing the whole humanity, but only pointing to that particular Vaishnava devotee. Chant the name of God and with it pray to Him. And what is the prayer? Two things. You may have love for Him. The love for God, it is possible only when I think that existence of God. He is there. Then I start liking all the qualities of God. The one lady came today, she was telling that young students, maybe that she was talking with them, one of them asked, why you are constantly praying and praising the Lord Rama? Oh, he looks so good, his eyes are so good, his color is this, why should we have to? Then she was a little confused. That's true. Why we are doing that? See, this is the expression of love. If you talk to the mothers, and ask her about their children, they will go on giving so many things, telling them, oh, this is so good, and so good. Expression of love. So when the devotee is expressing, talking about his most beloved, so expression of love, it talks like that. This is very, very natural and normal, it should be. The child is asking, the boy is asking, it's true. Why we have to go on praising the God? Oh, he is so good, so beautiful, the color is this, he is wearing like this, he is that. All these stotras that we chant is nothing but the praising of God. Why should we have to do that? To develop the love. So Sri Ramakrishna is asking, first you have to pray to God so that by His grace we get love for Him. So this is the most important thing, that chanting the name of God, at the same time praying to Him, that we may have love for Him. And secondly, this is also very wonderfully he is putting, very simple way, please bless me in that, so that attachment to transitory things becomes less and less. Attachment to transitory things. This is very important because we are going to go away from this world, leaving everything. And it is sure, today or tomorrow, today or 100 years after, but we are going to. Each and every one, they will die, and that is the truth. Now we like to cover this truth. It is weakness. And when a person who loves God, he knows that where I am going to God only. So why should I be afraid? I am going to the place where I really like to be. So that is why you have to reduce, otherwise a tremendous pain. When there is some dry skin, but it's not so dry that it will drop automatically. If you are trying to remove it, it's so painful. The blood will come, it will be painful. But when it is very dry, so automatically it falls up from the body. So similarly, if we are preparing, God, you have given me so many things. I am so happy and grateful to you. I have enjoyed my life. But now slowly, please give me detachment. And what is detachment? Does it mean carelessness? No. Very much careful. But without attachment. I keep everything so neat and tidy, but if the moment comes, if I have to go away, I don't mind living. And I will never turn back to that thing. That is the main training in the spiritual life. Or otherwise, and when the people cannot understand this, so the conception of Swarga, conception of heaven came. And in that heaven, what is there? More good things, enjoyable things. The more good and enjoyable things, if it is there in the heaven, someday that is also going to an end. That we have to understand. So we can never continue this thing. So this is what Sri Ramakrishna is teaching. And then he is telling, so one should feel great restlessness of soul for the vision of God. Sri Ramakrishna is continuing. Aru, can you please close this door? This is the sound. And he is telling that there is no doubt about the sanctity of God's name, but can a mere name achieve anything? Without the yearning love of these devotees behind it, one should feel great restlessness of soul for the vision of God. Suppose a man repeats the name of God mechanically, while his mind is absorbed in something worldly. Can he achieve anything? Then that man was giving the argument of the Ajamila, the time we discussed. Ajamila was a person who committed a lot of sin. But he was thinking that the peculiar thing, he was convinced, 100% faith, the name of God, just uttering the name of God can save me. So he kept the name of God to his son. So he knew that at the time of death, I will call at least my son. So he called that name, and it was the name of God. And it said that he was saved. Then Sri Ramakrishna told, but look at his faith. It is not possible, so much of faith. Our Girish Chandra Ghosh, who was having a lot of faith in Sri Ramakrishna, and he knew that he is God, the touch of him and his blessings can rectify everything. And he said, if I knew that he is going to bless me, I would have committed much more sin. I was little hesitant. So I would have committed much more sin because I was sure that he is going to. So that type of 100% faith, if we have, we can do anything. Because the faith, that is the main thing. But Sri Ramakrishna is telling, I chant the name of God and you pray that you may have love for him. Afterwards, these words are very, very, he declared, you can say, and very relevant to the present day world, when people are killing each other in the name of religion. Look at it, what Sri Ramakrishna is telling, and now slowly many of the people, most of the people, religious leaders, they are uttering these words, following these words. And this he said, with sincerity and earnestness, one can realize God through all religions. The people with whom he was talking with, they are Vaishnavas. And they have only one set of ideas. This is the truth and nothing else. I don't know how it developed, because the Vishnu, the word means all pervading. Vistareti Vishnaha. The Vishnu, the word means all pervading. And when it is all pervading, how it can be so narrow? But somehow it develops and it becomes very easy to follow a narrow channel. So Sri Ramakrishna is giving this dictum. With sincerity and earnestness, one can realize God through all religion. Then he is explaining again. The Vaishnavas will realize God, and so will the Shaktas. Shaktas means the followers of Shakti, and Vaishnava the followers of Vishnu. And the Vedantins, those who are only following the Veda, and then the Brahmas, that was newly formed over there at that time. Then he said, the Muslims and the Christians will realize him too. The greatness of a saint. It was unthinkable that he is giving this type of, and not that simplest statement, he practiced in his own life. He showed that the truth can be achieved through any path. But only two things are necessary. One is sincerity, another is earnestness. These are the two things. And then through any path it is possible. And it says, the Muslims and Christians will also realize him. All will certainly realize God if they are earnest and sincere. Now the question is, when we are following a particular path but not realizing God, that means we are lacking in sincerity and earnestness. That is true. We should not blame, we should not say that God is not there, I tried but I didn't realize. You are not sufficiently trying over that, practicing that. So that is the main thing. Some people indulge in quarrels, so Sri Ramakrishna is explaining, saying one cannot attain anything unless one worship our Krishna. Now, he is more elaborative, where to the point he is telling some people are so narrow-minded, they say only Krishna, and or some people will say nothing can be gained without the worship of Kali, our divine mother. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna himself used to worship goddess Kali. But even then he is telling only goddess Kali. Why? So some people say that only goddess Kali can save us, or one cannot be saved without accepting Christian religion. In those days, the missionaries, they used to say like that. This is pure dogmatism. The dogmatist says, my religion alone is true and the religions of others are false. This is a bad attitude. God can be reached by different paths. Who are you to say? Have you realized God? And you can say like that. If you have realized God, that is your path. Okay. How can you say the others who are following the different paths that they are wrong? That is why you will see the Hinduism, when the people are worshipping just by the wayside, by the side of the road, some stones, that is also accepted. Nobody is going and telling them, oh, why you are worshipping over here only a stone? Because if they are sincere, they will realize God even by that. Some of the trees are worshipped, thinking that if they are really sincere, God will manifest over there. And in the stories, if you read, most of you have read, in the Upanishads, the gurus are asking the students, brahmacharis, take these cows and don't come until they are 10,000 or 1,000. A few cows, maybe 100, take them when their number is 1,000, then come back. That was the teaching. And concentrate sincerely. And these boys are going, they are in the loneliness, nothing is there, and they are constantly remembering God, meditating, praying, contemplating. Suddenly one day he heard a bull is talking with him and telling, hey, now we are 1,000, let us go back. How it is possible? It is not the bull from his own within, but he thought that the bull is talking. And when we study that yoga, we know when we are concentrating on a particular place, then we can understand the words of the animals too. So this is what actually they are telling. Only two things are necessary: sincerity and earnestness. Then some say God has form and it is not, it is formless. The form and the formless, the whole humanity is divided on this topic. God with form, God without form. The majority of the people, the Hindus particularly, they worship God with form, and a huge number of people that believe that God is without form. But if you go to their places of worship, you will find so many different forms. Without the form, one cannot have, at least in the beginning, concentration of God. We cannot place our mind in that idea unless and until we are having a form. So that is why Sri Ramakrishna is very categorically, he is mentioning that God has form and he is also without form. Thus they are quarreling. A Vaishnava quarrels with the Vedantist. Vedantin, they say there is no form, it cannot be. But the Vaishnava says the God has come in the form of Sri Krishna. One can rightly speak of God only after one has seen Him. Look at the statement. One can rightly speak of God only after one has seen Him. But majority of the people, they have read some books and developed some conceptions over that they are talking, and naturally there are many, many gaps. It's not possible. Unless and until you go, you see, you stay, you talk, you realize yourself, it is impossible to give the perfect account. Unless and until one has realized God, it cannot. And then again, realizing God means what? God with a form we have realized, that much. And then we say, oh, it is sufficient, that much. No. We see in the lives of the gurus of Sri Ramakrishna. That's why the biography of Sri Ramakrishna is very important for each and every devotee. Whatever path he is following, it doesn't matter. It gives the clear idea. When his own guru, the lady guru, Vairavi Brahmani, she was not at all happy with another guru, that he was following the Vedantin path and without form. She used to tell Sri Ramakrishna, don't go to him. He don't have any love for God. And if you are going and talking with him, your idea will break. So don't go to him. Then afterwards, Sri Ramakrishna rectified her, and then she realized. Again, this Vedantin guru was very vehemently denouncing that the God has form. And someday he was just joking with Sri Ramakrishna, hey, kyun roti tokte ho? Why you are clapping and taking the name of God? In the UP they prepare chapatis, handmade chapatis. So that, kyun roti tokte ho? Sri Ramakrishna, is it? I am roti to. Why? I am taking the name of God by clapping my hands. You think like that? Then that guru learned the lesson and he understood that this is also true. Like the Shankaracharya himself, he learned. So this is very important. So Sri Ramakrishna is a museum of religion. He is the parliament of religions. Each and every idea, everything has come and has taken a perfect shape in it, Sri Ramakrishna. That's why the present day people, almost all of them, knowingly, unknowingly, sometime mentioning, without mentioning, talking only the ideas of Sri Ramakrishna. Or otherwise it is impossible. So narrowness cannot be possible nowadays. In modern days it is not possible because we know each other. Now because of the development of the science, we are so close, we know each other. So obviously we have to have this mentality even in spirituality. So this is the new Vedanta, Neo-Vedanta they say, the new Vedanta, new conception. What is the new conception? We will see in the different pages how Sri Ramakrishna is talking. One can rightly speak of God only after one has seen Him. This is most important. Otherwise, it is not possible. Anyone here and there, they will be talking about God. No. When Buddha is telling, he is telling the truth. When Jesus is telling, he is telling the truth. Because they have realized God. Whatever it may be, in one path, but they are perfectly speaking about that path because they have traveled through that. Then Sri Ramakrishna is giving an example. And before that he says, he who has seen God knows really and truly that God has form and that He is formless as well. He has many other aspects that cannot be described. And this is real theism. Atheism, the moment we say God is only in this form, that is atheism. They don't believe in God. I went to a temple, they had many, many rooms, huge. They newly purchased a church and then transformed it. So our small group of devotees of Sri Ramakrishna, they wanted a room where they like to meet once in a week. They told, if your God is this, then only you are allowed. Otherwise, no. No, but we are Hindus. We are coming here, Hindu, no Hindu. Only this God is the truth, otherwise not. Then he said, Swamiji, if you like, you can take a cup of tea with us. I have no problem. So I can go and take the tea. So the thing is, I never tried to tell him because he is so much egoistic. And he thinks he has all understood it. No, very, very wrong. The moment we say this much is God and nothing else, you are disbelieving God's power. All-powerful God, all-pervading God. It can take any shape. It can go anywhere. Who are you to say that God cannot go over there? So that is blasphemy. That is actually against God. So Sri Ramakrishna said, and then immediately, as his own, he is giving an example. Once, some blind men chanced to come near an animal that someone told them was an elephant. They were asked what the elephant was like. The blind men began to feel its body. One of them said the elephant was like a pillar. He had touched only its leg. Another said it is like a fan. He has touched only its ear. In this way, the other, having touched its tail or belly, gave their different versions of the elephant. Just so, a man who has seen only one aspect of God limits God to that alone. It is his conviction that God cannot be anything else. The one who touched the tail, he told, is just like a small little rope. It's nothing else, the elephant. But he is convinced that elephant is like this. Why? Because it touched that only. So this is the narrowness. So that's why Swami Vivekananda, who used to have a lot of argument with Sri Ramakrishna in the beginning when he was a young man, when afterwards himself realized everything, then he said, it is better to born in a church, not to die there. It is better to grow in an ideology, some ideas, but don't die that. That is the only thing and nothing else. It is not. So that each and every one is having their own ideas, they're traveling. We have to see whether they are really good people or not. If they're really good people, considerate and helping others, thinking about others, they are following the right path. And how can you say, he is now asking to that, the Vaishnava, that the only truth about God that he has formed? It is undoubtedly true that God comes down to earth in the human form. Sri Ramakrishna is agreeing God can come in the human form, as in the case of Krishna. And it is true as well that God reveals himself to his devotees in various forms. There are some stories that the Krishna and Lakshmi, they were sitting, and when they saw the Hanumana is coming, immediately Krishna told Lakshmi, you take the form of Sita, I am taking the form of Rama. Then they said, why? He knows that you are Krishna and he knows that Rama and Krishna are the same. But the Krishna said he likes to see Rama. That's why we should have this Rama. And Hanuman said, yes, I know, both are same, but my own dearest love is for Rama. Srinathe Janaki Nathe Aveda Paramatmani. Srinatha and Janaki. Sri means Lakshmi, and her Natha, husband, is the Vishnu. Janaki, Sita, her husband Rama. I know, both are same. Srinathe Janaki Nathe Aveda Paramatmani. Mama Sarvasya Rama Kamalalochana. But for me, Ram is the best. So that is a special type of love for one aspect of God, nothing wrong in it. And it should be, otherwise we won't be able to move. Some people, they come today here, today there, their energy is flittering. Today meditating on the Ganesha, next day meditating on the Kartikeya, next day meditating on Durga. So like this is going on. Experiment is nothing wrong, but energy is flittering. Concentration means you have to put your mind in one place. But that doesn't mean when the moment I am putting my mind in one place, that is the only thing and nothing else. And my human mind is very narrow and it likes to be narrow. This is very peculiar. And we have to break that. That's why Swami Vivekananda said, each soul is potentially divine. Goal is to manifest this divinity within. How? By controlling nature, external, internal. This internal nature always wants us to behave like these. Oh no, we won't touch them. No, we don't do this. We won't do that. And we have to judge, why should we not? What is the harm in doing it? And then the moment we are judging, slowly we are understanding this is nothing wrong in it. Mind is becoming broad. It can accept everything. But at the same time, stick to that one particular goal that I am going to pursue and I am going to achieve. This is the main teaching of Sri Ramakrishna. And again he is telling, do you know what I mean? Satchidananda is like an infinite ocean. Intense cold freezes the water into ice. An excellent example. And no one else before Sri Ramakrishna could give it. That formless can take the form and the with form can become formless. And that is the speciality of Hinduism. Wherever I go, whenever they invite me to speak in the Hindu temple, I only talk about only one subject, that Hinduism, no Hinduism. Because most of us, we do not know. So when we come away from home, we become more rigid about our own religion and all. Whatever we heard, whatever we saw, whatever we have read, over that we are sitting, no, this is the religion. And I saw the people, they are doing like that. Why they did, we don't know. But this you must do. So this is very peculiar. I told you one person he invited, actually not his house, somebody else's house, but he was there. The moment we entered, some 2-3 monks, and he asked us to stand over there and then asking others to offer pranam. But the sun was very scorching, sun was there. I told, why you were standing? And after such a long travel, why? There are seats there. Let us sit and then you can offer pranam. No. The moment a holy person entered, he should stand over here facing this east. And the chairs are over there facing the only south. We cannot offer pranam to you. I told, in that case, excuse me, you need not to offer any pranam to me, you do. So this is the very peculiar idea. This is the east and west. The God within me that you are going to offer pranam, isn't it? If that is so, God is everywhere. So you can offer pranam God anywhere. Have that idea. Somewhere it hard, and people are so very interested. The moment you say something narrow, they like it to follow. And if you are telling something broad, immediately, even the scientists also are hesitant, is it? But they told like this. So this is, we have to break. Why? Because Swamiji said, by controlling nature, internal and external. This internal nature always makes us narrow-minded. And the moment we become narrow, we cannot reach to God. So this is what he says, and giving a wonderful example. First example he said about the blind people, explaining about the elephant, That is also true. One person is telling this is God, another person is telling this is God. Everything is true because they have realized God up to that. Swami Vivekananda afterwards explained this in a different way. He said one person standing on earth looking at the sky and seeing the sun, giving the description of the sun, he is perfect, he is correct in his point. Another, when traveling, flying by the aircraft and the aeroplane, from there looking at the sun and giving the example, giving the description, he is also correct. And someone who is traveling by the rocket and going near to and then giving, he is also correct. All are correct, but according to their standards. Here also Sri Ramakrishna said, the all blind people, they were explaining, giving the description of the elephant, that's also true, but according to their realizations. Here he is explaining that formless can become form and form can become formless at the same time. How? Satchidananda, Sat Chit Ananda, that is Brahman. And it is vast everywhere. It's like an infinite ocean, example he is giving. Intense cold freezes the water into ice, which floats on the ocean in blocks of various forms. Likewise, through the cooling influence of bhakti, one sees form of God in the ocean of the Absolute. An excellent way he is explaining. I like to see God as a small baby who is playing, making pranks, and I am loving, I am chasing, I am feeding. That is, I want, and God comes to me in that form. That's also true. And when Akrura came, Akrura was a Gyani, and he was, when he saw that all the Vrindavan women are crying, but the Krishna has gone away, so he came, oh, why you are crying? Krishna is everywhere. Do you think Krishna is in this form? Krishna actually Vishnu is everywhere. They told you take it, your knowledge with you. We like to see Krishna in this form only. And then another story is there. They went all the way from Vrindavan to Mathura. That's called Dwarka. All the way they traveled from Vrindavan to Dwarka to see Krishna. Krishna was the king over there. He was sitting on the throne and with the king's attire. Then they were covering their face. What happened? No, we cannot look at this type of different people. We are not supposed to. He is Krishna, maybe, but we don't like this Krishna. We want only our Vrindavan Krishna. So this is the devotion and nothing wrong in it. But don't say Vrindavan Krishna is different and Mathura Krishna is different, Dwarka Krishna is different, and Mahabharata Krishna is different. No, it is not. It's the same Krishna in different form. Whatever you like, you like. So Sri Ramakrishna is giving this idea that when on a water taking the form of the ice form, different forms, floating on the water, similarly the devotee's bhakti, that influences this, and God is taking different form in the ocean of Absolute. These forms are meant for the bhaktas, the lovers of God. But, he says, when the sun of knowledge rises, its ice melts. It becomes the same water as it were before. The moment that knowledge dawns, how can God be only in this form? Then everything goes away. It becomes formless. The form becomes formless. In the Bhagavata, it is telling like this, O Lord, thou hast form, and thou art also formless. In the Bhagavata, the main book of the Vaishnavas. But how many are sincerely reading and accepting? This is the problem. So they become so narrow. In the Bhagavata it says, Lord, thou hast form and thou art also formless. I went to see how the Vaishnavas, they live and they practice, etc. in one place. Then one priest, he saw me. That time I was brahmachari. So I was curious, I wanted to learn. And then he saw me and immediately understood that I have joined in the Ramakrishna mission. And he was telling bluntly, no courtesy even. Oh, you have joined in that. You will go to hell. Look at it. The narrowness, unfathomable narrowness. So how they can say like that, where he is? He doesn't know, he doesn't bother. But he is sure that some other people will go. So that is the narrowness, the way they are expressing at least some courtesy, some gentleness. You can of course say about your own path, say I am following this path because this is this good qualities. What about you? No, they don't have that mind also. So this is the problem. In the Bhagavata itself it says, O Lord, thou hast form and thou art formless. Thou walkest before us, O Lord, in the shape of a man again. Thou hast been described in the Vedas as beyond words and thought. But you may say that a certain devotees God assumes eternal forms. So sometimes some people like Mirabai, for her, she cannot think of anything else except Krishna. Mere to Giridhari Lal. I only love Giridhari. Dusra na koi. For them, they are so much devoted and they are not narrow-minded. They only mention about themselves. Mirabai, she is telling, I only love Krishna. I don't know whether you like it or not, whether you are following other paths or not. That is up to you. But for me, this is this. What is wrong in it? So Sri Ramakrishna appreciating this, and he is telling again an example. There are places in the ocean where the ice doesn't melt at all. In the North Pole, ice is not melting. Of course, nowadays a little bit. Now this is what, and then Kedar, he was a very knowledgeable person. He used to read this. In those days, the people, they used to read a lot of books. The Kedar, the devotee, many again and again, this name is coming in this book. And this Kedar is telling, there's one book by Swami Ishatmananda ji, that the devotees who lived with God, the Sri Ramakrishna, about their biography. It's a very beautiful book. And this biography is actually inspires us. How these ordinary people, seemingly outwardly ordinary people, they are coming, asking question, living with Sri Ramakrishna, learning from him, and then transforming slowly. Kedar is telling, it is said in the Bhagavata that Vyasa, in the Bhagavata itself, the Vyasa asks God's forgiveness for his 3 transgressions. And he says, Rupam, Rupa Vivarjitasya Bhavato Dhyanena Yat Kalpitam. I am meditating on a form while I know that you are formless. That is the transgression, the papa that I have done. Oh God, please forgive me. I know that you are formless, you are everywhere, but I have thought a form of yours and I am meditating on that. O Lord, thou art formless, but I have thought of thee in my meditation as endowed with form. Rupam means form. Rupa vivarjitasya, without form. Bhavato, you. Dhyanena, in meditation. Yatkalpitam, I imagine. Then second, stutva. I have chanted your name. I am telling so many good qualities. Thou art beyond speech. But I have sung thy hymns. There is another transgression. The Vyasa is telling. Stutva, the hymns I am chanting. Anirbachaniyata Akhila Guru. I know you cannot be explained, you cannot be expressed by words. It is impossible. Even then, I am chanting. So that is the transgression. Vyapitvancha Nirakritam Bhagavato. You are all everywhere. Beautifully it says, Thou art all pervading Spirit, but I have made pilgrimages to sacred places. I am going to the sacred places as a pilgrimage, thinking that this is not holy place. So I am leaving this place, going to some other place, only to see while you are all pervading. That is also transgression, papam that I have committed. And it says, Vyapitvancha. You are all Vyapitva. Vyapitva means all pervading. Nirakritam. You don't have any form. Bhagavato. Oh my God. But again, I am such a fool. Yat tirtha yatra adina. And I have gone to the pilgrimages. Why should I? Why can't I sit and meditate on you who are all pervading? But I could not. Because that is my limitations. But Shantabham Jagadisha, O my Lord, O Jagat Isha, Jagadisha. Jagat means the universe. It's not only the world, the universe. And Isha means God. Jagat Isham. You are the Lord of the whole universe. Please forgive me. Tad Bifalata Dosha Trayam. Traya means three. This type of shortcomings in me, three shortcomings, Madkritam, I have done, I have committed, please forgive me. In the Bhagavat, it is the biography of Sri Krishna. And there these words, Bhagavat is full of knowledge, but a personal God. That is the speciality, a personal God, Krishna. About the Krishna they are explaining, but every pages they are containing Advaita knowledge. But even then we are fighting, and those people they claim, narrow-minded people, Bhagavata is only for the Vaishnavas. Vaishnava for the Vaishnavas? What is this then? So this is all pervading, that's why Sri Ramakrishna is telling, then immediately Sri Ramakrishna is very happy. And he is telling, yes. And he is stressing, that he is a very good master. He wants to impress this idea, whatever idea that he wants to give, again and again, in different way, he will repeat, so that it comes within the mind, and he is impressing, yes, God has form, and he is formless too. Why he is talking like this? Because even today, but at his time, Sri Ramakrishna's time, Hinduism was breaking because a lot of propaganda was going on against, and mainly they were telling that God cannot have form. The God is all-pervading. How the all-pervading God can come into a form? The moment within the form, it is limited. The moment it is limited, it is going to break, going to die, going to an end. It must be an end because it is limited. So finite and infinite. The moment it is infinite, it is permanent. The moment it is becoming finite, limited, it is going to break, going to die, going to stop, going to an end. So obviously God can never be so. That was the argument. Here we find Sri Ramakrishna is breaking that. Our Brahma Samaj, Prarthana Samaj, and so many Samajas, groups they came that time only on this point. And even today people are confused about seeing the Hindus worshipping so many gods and goddesses. But one point, though they are confused, but one thing they are very happy, most of our foreign friends, those who are not acquainted with the Hinduism. Majority of the Hindus, as because they have grown up in that, they don't mind. And they are not sincere about it also. For them, the Krishna and the Ganesha and the Durga and the Rama, all same. They will go and worship him, but not much. But some people are very sincere. If so many gods and goddesses, whom I am going to worship? That is the question. So that for them only, this is the thing. God is with form and without form. And for us, the Hindus, now everywhere a revival has come. But we have to understand the real Hinduism, otherwise we'll make a mistake. I feel like reading out this small page when we will go to Parliament of Religion. Of course, I don't know how many other people will come. Maybe some few of our devotees are going, so they may be before us, but still these are the gem of the words, the teachings about religion. Follow your own path sincerely, diligently. You must follow and try to realize God, but don't blame others. And know for sure that those are also correct paths. The moment you are going to think and explaining and propagating that that is bad, immediately you are going away from the path of God. So that is what Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning when he was quoting from the Bhagavata. He said, yes, God has form and he is formless too. Farther, again he is adding, he is beyond both form and formless. No one can limit him. So look at it. And that is why Sri Ramakrishna is accepted by each and every one. No one can limit him. Form, formless, beyond it, we do not know. Dashavata Stotra. In Arunachal Pradesh, the all tribal boys, when the Dashavatara, so when the pig god is coming, and all people, because they actually go for hunting the pigs inside the jungle, and the pig came, they were very happy. Then other monks were telling, so why we should do this, because they may misunderstand. So we have to tell them what is it actually. The God can be in that pig, why not? In that cow, why not? We cannot limit God's power. He is beyond limitations. Unless and until you have this faith, you are not a believer. The believer of God always should understand this. I understood God only in this form, that is sufficient for me. Sri Ramakrishna is telling, if only you need a glass full of water, why you are inquiring about the whole ocean's water? You don't need that. You won't understand that. You won't be able to hold that. So one glass of water is sufficient for you. Drink it and be satisfied. So this is God is sufficient. Some people will be always inquiring. Sri Ramakrishna in one place, he mentioned that I will be coming again and to the northeastern side, something like that. Everybody will be after 100 years. So the 100 years is over. Has he come? How am I to know? He has not informed me. And that is not in the Google too. How am I to know? But the thing is, whatever he has given in this form as Sri Ramakrishna, sufficient for me. And much more that I can grasp, that I can get, much more. So why should I need so many things? It's not necessary. So for a human being, we have to understand divinity is there within us. And that divinity is known as God. And that divinity is nothing but pure love, unselfish love. And unless and until we understand that in reality, realize that, there is no peace for me. And for that peace, for that happiness, eternal bliss, I must strive. How I should strive? Whichever path I feel like traveling. Nothing wrong in it. Ramakrishna mission, if you come, you will see so many varieties of Swamis. Some will be only speaking about Shankaracharya and they will tell you, don't go anywhere else, only Shankara, Ramakrishna mission Swamis. And some will be arguing Vishishtadvaita, read Swami Sri Ramakrishna, you will see he is nothing but Vishishtadvaita. And you people are only unnecessarily translating it and thinking that is Shankara. Nothing Shankara, he is Vishishtadvaita. They are also Ramakrishna mission Swami. Some people cannot think of meditating without the picture of Sri Ramakrishna, worshipping. Every day, one of our Swamis, he was there, he was posted in one ashrama where there is no worship, not even a picture of Sri Ramakrishna is worship. But he has grown up in that atmosphere. Every evening when the sun is setting, Khandana Bhava Vandana, if I can't sing, I cannot sleep. So, he used to take the photo of Sri Ramakrishna and he used to walk out of the campus, and it is almost 5 to 6 kilometers. After that, there is a huge area, and he will cross beyond that our Ramakrishna ashrama boundary. Then he will sit under a tree, he will put Thakur's photo and incense stick, Khandana Bhava Vandana alone. And then again he will pack up and come back. And this is the speciality of Ramakrishna. And if you go, you will see at the point when the Sri Ramakrishna worship is going on in our headquarters, Belur Math. On that day, we are worshipping Jesus, we are worshipping our Hazrat Muhammad. Our Hindu Swamis, they are reading from the Quran, reading from the Bible, reading from the Tripitak. What is it? But we think that we are 100% Hindu. Nothing less than Hindu. We are Hindu, pure Hindu. Why? Because we follow these. Ishavashamidam sarvam. God is all pervading. And that is why Sri Ramakrishna, he is telling this again and again. We have to remember this, and he is telling that in one place he is telling, next day I think we should study this. He is praising not the monks but the householders. He is very much happy with the householders, because I really now previously used to think why the Sri Ramakrishna is telling like this. Of course, what I felt I will tell the next class, otherwise you won't come. Let us conclude this. So this pranam mantra, we call it pranam mantra. When we are offering our pranam, we are telling this, we know who you are, but still please accept our pranam. He is not having any desire, niranjana. And then he is nityam, he is constant, never changes. He is having so many different varieties of form. This God is coming down in a separate form, human form, so that we can understand, we can go to him, we can listen to him, talk to him, and can get the light out of his teachings. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa dhrita vigraham vai Ishavataram Parameshamidyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namamaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.